Hello, welcome to this webinar, which is about data management in the context of CRM. In CRM, data is everything, and the quality of that data is really important. Experian, a data specialist, report that revenue is affected by poor quality data. Harvard Business Review reported that data is frequently inaccurate, and Dun & Bradstreet illustrate just how much data changes naturally. The effect of data quality on CRM is wide-ranging. It can go from users' confidence through their willingness to take up the CRM, what you get out of the system and value of that, how quick it is to get to the data you want, and poor quality data can increase marketing spend. In other words, data quality really matters. Here are some of the data sources that can feed your CRM. Starting in the gold-coloured box on the left with historic data, typically spreadsheets which may exist in the business for various reasons, including output from accounting systems, which is a great source of normally reliable data. Other sources can include external bought-in data, often from marketing suppliers. These sources of data are often static and not changing. We can compare these with those in the blue box now. These represent the more dynamic sources of data, typically coming in from day-to-day activities such as incoming inquiries, if you're running events, or inquiries from the website. The original data loading is done as part of your project setup, but you can do it yourself. There's a simple manual process. It looks like this. When I start a new import, the first thing I do is select the type of import I'd like to do. In this case, I'm going to import the full set of data. Then I need to locate the source data, which is a CSV file. Here you can see a preview of my data. It's what I was expecting, so I can move on to the next stage. If I was doing it for the first time, I might want to map which columns in the spreadsheet go into which fields in GoldVision. If I've done it before, I can save a template for this and just upload the template and import it straight away. I can move on to the next stage now. And the system is bringing in that data, and it gives me a choice to import it now or schedule it for a later time. And the data is coming in. Another source of data to be managed is the contacts from exhibitions and trade shows. Also from web forms where people are submitting their own inquiries to you. Sometimes this data isn't as clean as you would want, and you may not want to mix it with your real customer and prospect data. At this point, lead management is the ideal route. Lead management keeps your data in separate silos away from your main data until you've had the chance to go through and review it and qualify it in or out. In this example, I've got several lead lists, including exhibitions that we've attended, and also I could use it for things like web inquiries. Behind that, you can see an example of an individual lead. A lead can be allocated to somebody who is then going to follow up and determine whether this is a good opportunity, in which case it should be promoted into the main part of the system, or a poor quality opportunity, which you may want to discard. In any case, this will be deduped against existing records, so you can't accidentally call somebody that you're already in contact with. So far we've been talking about adding data manually, but sometimes it's more convenient to use some automation. One example of that is a web form, which can exist at your website, but can feed directly into GoldVision. Another example of that is a portal, where the user actually wants to access some of the data that's in GoldVision, but they're actually viewing it through a branded, secure interface, which is the portal. GoldVision now includes the tools for adding your own web forms or creating your own portals. If you want something more sophisticated, do get in contact with us and we can discuss your requirements. Multiple copies of the same data is particularly problematic in CRM, and the best way to deal with it is to stop them happening in the first place. Spotting duplicate records isn't always easy. The name on its own is often not enough to spot duplicates. It's better to compare several pieces of information. For example, also using phone numbers, postcodes, and perhaps email addresses. In GoldVision, you can choose your own deduping model. For example, here I'm using the postcode as a field to compare for other records and spot duplicates. Now, when I add a new record, all I need to do is add information to the fields which I've selected, and the system will give me a preview check in case we can find the duplicate before you've gone to all the trouble of fully adding all the information. In this case, I have created a duplicate, and I've got a hit against the name, against the contact's name, the phone number, and the postcode. So this is clearly a duplicate, and I should cancel adding the record. Sometimes, despite all of this, duplicates happen anyway. This is what you can do about it. There are reports you can run to help you spot duplicates. And if you do spot one, you can use the built-in tools to bring together two records into one good one. A new but really important aspect of data management is data privacy, and in the UK that includes GDPR. Gold Vision includes a set of tools that applies some automation to this process. It also allows you to apply the business decisions that have been taken around data privacy. If we look at the record for one person, you can see that the automation has set the lawful basis that we chose for this kind of person, in this case legitimate interest, also the duration that the business has decided is reasonable, 4 years, and therefore the removal date in the future that comes from that. If your contact makes a subject access request, or they exercise their right to be erased, this can also be done by any member of the team who can request this to happen. It means that it's not the responsibility of just one person in the business. Another significant user of data is the company's direct marketing. In this campaign, each of the green blocks, such as the one ringed in red, represents a segment of data. Each of the green blocks was created from a filtered list and it's saved as a campaign source. These saved campaign sources can be used to determine who should receive a mail shot. You can also use campaign sources to exclude certain people from receiving a particular campaign. Any of your contacts who are in a campaign source in the excluded column on the right will be suppressed from the campaign. If I open up one of these campaign sources, you can see the contacts within it. If any of the contacts' details change, these sources are dynamic, so those changes are reflected the next time the source is used in a campaign. This is in contrast to most email marketing systems, which are driven by lists which have been extracted once and which are static and fixed. In summary, good data management really affects your CRM very widely, and having good quality, accurate data benefits everybody who uses it. If different divisions of the company are all using the same pool of data for their separate interactions with customers and prospects, that inevitably helps to improve data quality. It's a mistake to think of data management as the responsibility of just one person. That's too much. It really is a joint responsibility right across the whole team. Caring for your data is ideally just part of your daily working, part of the business's culture. If someone sees an error, they correct it. If they have extra data, they add it. I hope this short video has been helpful. If you'd like to discuss any of the issues raised, please do get in touch.